Realm here, coming to you today with no violence from Baltimore.
That's right. Shit that's going on there right now is pretty crazy.
We're gonna try to share something positive today.
Yes, hopefully.
You know, have some laughs. It'll be a good time. We're gonna talk about the new Stone Sour cover album that just came out.
Very, very short covers album. It's an EP.
Meanwhile in Burbank.
Meanwhile in Burbank is the name of it.
Meanwhile in Baltimore.
And
it would have been a lot more like death metal if it was Meanwhile in Baltimore.
Yeah, pretty much. Meanwhile in Burbank, they had put this out on vinyl 10 days ago, only vinyl, and that's when we originally wanted to review it, but obviously we weren't able to get it, and even if we did get it, we don't have a record player, so we couldn't even listen to it. But
try to spin it on your finger.
But the band put it out on iTunes today, so we were able to listen to the covers that they had to offer to us.
Yeah, and there were
5 covers. Yeah. Exactly. So what they covered was, they did We Die Young by Alice in Chains. They did Heading Out to the Highway, Judas Priest. Yep. Love Gun by Kiss. Creeping Death by Metallica off of Ride the Lightning. And then Children of the Grave by Black Sabbath off of Master of Reality.
Yeah. They're pretty good picks.
So, overall, I think these covers are actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
To me, anyway. So what I did was, is I listened to the original version of the song first, and then I listened to the cover right after, you know, to get a really good comparison. And overall, I think most of these covers live up to the original. I think for the most part. One thing that I think is with Corey Taylor, I think he can sing almost any song. I think, in general, almost any.
Yeah.
Not exactly, but I think he did especially with Love Gun, I had no idea his vocals,
range were that high.
I had no idea he was even capable of doing that. I was very, very surprised.
Yeah,
I said,
he's like the multi-tool of La La La. I think he's been known mostly for his work in Slipknot and Stone Sour. As most of you know, if you watch us diligently, which both of you do, I'm not a huge fan of Slipknot.
We've established that.
I liked their last album and their first album, but other than that, they just kind of lost me when subliminal verses and stuff. I couldn't make it through it. So, whatever you make of that, regardless, here's where I go from here. I think in vocal range, I think that band kind of restricts him a little bit and doesn't showcase this so much. I think Stone Sour makes a better
like vocalist out of him.
Yeah, I think Stone Sour really showcases the kind of vocalist that I enjoy him to be. People are usually very critical of covers, especially when you cover anything by bands like Black Sabbath or Judas Priest. I'm a huge Judas Priest fan. Metallica, huge Metallica fan. Everything before Saint Anger. And I think whenever you're going to touch stuff like that, people are going to be very critical of you.
I was very critical with Creeping Death because of how much I love Metallica.
Yeah, when I heard they did a Creeping Death cover, I was like, what?
At first, I was
Kirk Hammett.
I said, I wonder what they're going to do with this when I first saw it.
Yeah. And
then I listened to it, and then one complaint I have with it is I think it should be faster. I thought it was too slow.
I thought
some
of these and honestly, for that song, I think both of us had the same kind of notion on that. I think out of all the songs on the album, we were both the most critical of that one. And what I'll say is that was honestly my least favorite.
Okay.
That was my least favorite song on the album, only because I don't feel like Corey Taylor had enough testicular fortitude behind the vocals. I'm used to James Hetfield. Even if it wasn't if it was somebody else doing it, I think that's a song like that demands more. It's not like, I think he did all the other songs pretty good. I think he did them really well. He did Judas Priest very well. You know, his Kiss cover was like totally not what I expected from
Alice
him
in
at
Chains
all.
one I love. I
Alice
really
in
liked.
Chains was great.
And then the Black Sabbath one.
Yeah.
You know, I thought was really good.
He's got a really great voice for all that, and but I just think that his harsher vocals could use some work for me. But maybe that's because, you know, I don't know. I just think that was the only section of this album that I was like, oh, come on, get like more. Like, whenever you make covers, people are gonna be very critical of them. It's
Yep.
like everybody just wants to hear, you know, like what I'm saying right now. Even people are gonna be like, you know, it wasn't what I wanted, or. And regardless, I think when you look at bands that have done other covers, that like they've made it their own.
Mm-hmm.
Like Holy Diver was a great example. You know, we always make Killswitch references, but like even so, that's probably
the millionth one.
the millionth one we've done. But like when they did that cover, it's like they took the original song that has phrasing and stuff, like melodic phrasing of like during solos, for example, like that, and they made it their own. A lot of those songs had the same phrasing as like the originals. Like that Metallica cover had a lot of Kirk Hammett in it.
Yeah.
And what I would have liked instrumentally was maybe them to try to make it a little bit more of their own. You know, not.
It was almost identical.
It is identical.
You know?
It's like almost identical. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And then another thing with it, it was actually like the first material from them without Jim Root, because he was fired from the band.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but he's still in Slipknot.
Yeah.
You know, which is good. You know, for a fan like myself, if Jim Root left Slipknot, that'd be very, very disastrous.
Yeah. And then there's got to be some tension.
So I have to ask, is like, since this was the first material without him, I think it's hard to argue that he's not a good guitar player.
He's incredible. He's wicked good. He's
very,
like,
very good.
I think he's much better than Mick Thompson.
So,
you know?
do you think the guitars were good on this? Do you think, even though it didn't have him on it?
Yeah.
It had these new. It had a
Yeah,
new guy
I'd like to
and
think-
a new bassist.
I'd like to think maybe this was kind of like an experiment to see how they was going to perform, how everything was going to be, and how people, you know,
Yeah.
interpret.
I didn't even think of it like
and
that.
I liked it.
So since you're not a big like Slipknot fan,
Yeah.
so when you listen to Stone Sour, you don't get the same feeling like when you listen to Slipknot, even though it's the same singer.
No.
No.
I don't. No, I'm not that trashy. This is just my own opinion. This is, you know, Slipknot has a very large fan base, and I respect you all. You know, this is great. You enjoy the music and you get something, you know, appealing out of it. That's awesome. For me, I just don't really enjoy it. Nothing personal against them. They're all great musicians, and you know, I just feel that it just never identified. I never identified with that music.
I, on the other hand, love Slipknot.
Which has the Mick Thompson signature guitar, which has 4 frets and 3 strings. They're really talented musicians. Jim Root's an incredible musician. Anybody that's watched Jim Root play, he's awesome. Out of all the members of Slipknot, I enjoyed his musical prowess the most, probably along with Joey Jordison. And they're both gone. So at this point, Slipknot really has nothing to offer me.
No, Jim Root is still
Wait, oh yeah.
there. Yeah. Paul.
Well, yeah.
Paul and Joey are gone.
Paul and Joey are gone. Yep. I really liked Joey Jordison. He's an awesome drummer. But that's a topic for a different video.
One more thing before we go is we have a Facebook page.
Yep.
So, you know, if you've been following us or if you've just been like stumbling upon us, you know, from whatever the hell you're searching for, subscribe to the page.
Yep.
And then like our Facebook
Right.
right now.
Now. And